Welcome to another Grizzlies Spotlight. I'm your host, Brett McMillan, and joined today by one of the fan favorites definitely here at Gateway, catcher Landon Hernandez. Lando, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brett. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and you know what? You're a guy that I think it's really interesting. Out of all the cool places that we have college-wise represented on this team, you probably win because you went to Hawaii. You played D1 baseball. What's it like out on the Big Island playing ball?
Oh, we're actually on Oahu, not the Big Island, but I loved it. I was there for 4 years. I got to play. People always talk about getting island fever and whatnot, but you're just so busy with school and whatnot, you don't even get island fever. But you're in paradise. Can't beat that.
What's it like, I guess, being back here today? We're in a little different setting for the Spotlight because it's raining, which is a problem we have in this area sometimes. Does it ever rain there? Do you have weather issues, or it's just perfect all the time?
Oh, it rains off and on over there a lot. It's more mist, so it's you kind of just deal with it, and but you can always go to the beach and it's always sunny.
Travel-wise, what's that like being in Hawaii? I know that a lot of the schools you're playing are west of the Rockies, but does that make it harder on you than it was on other people at different schools?
It is. As far as traveling goes, we'd always take like one or two trips in the preseason. Usually to Arizona State. They have a tournament over there, so we kind of play Arizona State. But in conference, we usually take about 2 weeks off of school. We bring our advisor, our tutors, and whatnot. We get all our work together from our professors and whatnot. So we usually take about 2 weeks off because we'll go to like Sacramento State, and then we'll just bus over to Reno back when we were in the WAC. Or we'd go to New Mexico and then have to fly to Louisiana Tech. So it's tough. I guess it's just cheaper that way in order to budget the college and the teams and whatnot. So as far as that, we usually take about 2 weeks off, come home, and then play a week at home and then take off again.
You've had a really great percentage as far as throwing guys out on the base paths. For you as a catcher, tell me about why that's important to your game to be able to control the running game.
I think that's just one of the main reasons that I'm here. I love controlling the pitching staff and the running game. That's something I take pride in. Blocking, defense, throwing. That's something that I excel in, and I get more of a high out of throwing runners out than I do hitting a home run. So that's just something that pumps me up, and I take pride in.
When you have a guy on the mound that's struggling, part of the job as a catcher is to go out there and to calm him down and walk him through stuff, and that's part of baseball. Even the best guys struggle at times. How do you do that, just going one-on-one with a guy and trying not to tear him down, but at the same time get him through a rough inning?
It just depends on who the pitcher is. You kind of got to know them on and off the field as well. You got to know their personalities, kind of be a psychologist for them. But some pitchers, you kind of have to pat them on the butt and kind of guide them through, kind of baby them through, give them a little pep talk. Whereas others, you got to get in their face. They do better when they're angry, when they're mean. To me personally, I don't really care if they're mad at me as long as we get through that inning. Because we're baseball players, we get have short-term memories. They know that I'm doing it for the for their best interest. So it just depends on how they react to certain situations.
You've been here now a couple of years. You're one of the longest tenured Grizzlies, and this is a league because of the rules. Some guys, a few stick around longer, but mostly there's a lot of turnover each and every year. What kind of responsibility do you feel, Landon, as far as controlling the culture within the clubhouse since you've been around a while?
As far as the culture, you just kind of got to be yourself. From the catching position, you kind of have that leadership regardless if you want it or not. So you just got to be a leader. You got to take, as far as, this league, this is a young league. So you're going to have guys right out of college. You got to show them, how and what not to do. As far as that, and just having fun, keeping them, loose and, active and having fun. That's when you play the best baseball, is when you're having fun. It's a kid's game. We're grown men playing kids' games. So you got to keep having fun. If you let it get to you, that's when things start going south. You just can't be doing that. So as far as me and my leadership role, that's just something I strive for in the locker room. It's just to have fun, relax, and then we'll keep winning.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started as a catcher.
Let's see. Catching wise, I was I want to say I started when I was catching around 12. More so just because I was one of the bigger guys. I had a coach, Bill Sudeikis. He played for the Dodgers for a little bit, and he saw it from that point. I couldn't run. I was very limited in my mobility. So he was like, "You're going to be a catcher. You have a good arm. You can throw people out." And it kind of just took off from there. So never really caught in high school. I went to a very small high school at Desert Chapel. We barely filled out a baseball team. We had 8.5 guys. One of our scorekeeper played right field, so it was kind of tough. But I pitched and I played short in high school. So during the off season or during the season throughout high school in the summers, I played travel ball. That's when I caught. That's when I had more looks, and that's how I really got to University of Hawaii.
My last thing that I have to ask you, you lead this team and you're toward the top in a lot of statistics, especially offensively, and you definitely have the lead in beard right now too. Tell me a little bit about the facial hair. It looks great, by the way. How'd that get going, and why do you like it like that?
Well, it got going. One of my coaches in Australia, he kind of got it going. He had a premiership beard, and he's been growing it ever since. His is about 3 times as long as mine, and I kind of just stuck with it. My girlfriend right now, she likes a beard. She doesn't like it this long, but and it just kind of stuck with me. As far as that, the Grizzlies like it. The fans like it. I hear a lot of comments like a nice beard when I'm walking back to the clubhouse. So it kind of sticks. It's kind of the beard's kind of known, and I like to have fun with it.
Hey, Lando, congrats on another great year, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brett.
For Landon Hernandez, I'm Brett McMillan. This has been another Grizzlies Spotlight.